What it do, y'all? It's your girl Makeup and Travel, and for today's video, your girl is doing this video for a couple of different reasons, right? As you can see, my background has changed. I'm hoping that this will help better with my lighting. I know we've all struggled with lighting in my videos. I apologize, but I'm hoping that switching my area around so that I have the window in front of me, it helps. I hope it helps with the focusing as well. I find that some of my videos are in focus, some of them aren't, so I'm hoping that this whole setup is good. You know, you guys get to see a little bit more of my room. You know, it'll force me to keep my room clean, so cool. But that's really not the main reason why we're here. That was just like the reason for me to find something to film, really. The main reason we're here is because I decided I wanted to talk about all of the eyeshadow palettes that I have picked up and talked about in the year 2021. I don't even think I have 10 palettes here, which is always a good thing. I like that I have very minimal amount of products to talk about. I want to talk about them. I want to review them all fully in this video, and then I am going to rank them. This will be my second 10 palette ranking video that I've done. I will have the other one down below, and hopefully, if I can remember, up in the cards as well. I did not record this look. I actually was watching a Get Ready With Me. I was watching Samantha March's recent Get Ready With Me, and I wanted to get to know what was going on with her life. So I decided to be nosy and watch. I also need to do my own Get Ready With Me because there have been some things changing. But yeah, let's get into it. Alrighty. So like I always do, what I want to do now is just run through all of the products first. I'll talk about them, and then at the end I will rank them. So if you just want a ranking, hopefully your girl's editing skills are good, and magically right here on the screen will be a timestamp for you to just hop onto. But if you want to hear reviews, let's get to it. Alrighty, so first we're just gonna go with what's on the top of the pile, and I have both of my Odin's Eyes palettes. So this first one right here is the Oud palette, and it is this really small curated collection of 5 shadows, technically 6, but 5 shadows. I really enjoyed this palette for the color scheme, and I really enjoyed the mattes and the metallics. These in the middle are the better of the metallics. They're like super foiled, super flaky, super glittery goodness, but every shade works beautifully. This shade right here, it works as a transition, and it can work as a lid shade. I personally would not use it straight up as a crease color. I just don't get the amount of depth that I would desire, but I just like depth, so take that as you will. But either way, like I said, I do enjoy this. Then we also have their Norns palette, and these were both in the same collection, which was the Norns collection. And this is obviously a bigger palette, as you can see, and it's beautiful. You get various different textures. You get mattes, metallics with some glitter. You also get some like satiny shimmers. It's a beautiful, beautiful palette. Nice arrangement from lights to darks in both the matte and the metallic formulations. I really enjoy this palette. Well done. Then we have my It's Frickin' Bats palette by Beaute Bean and Shroud Cosmetics, and this is also doubling because your girl, my editing was trash and I lost the footage for the end when I was actually reviewing this palette, so listen up. I really enjoyed this palette. I think that all of the shades worked beautifully. Mattes and shimmers and metallics alike. I did say, well, I attempted to say, this shade right here, you do need to be slightly careful. It does kind of blend away if you're like really doing a detailed outer V like I've done, but it beautifully packs on. So I think overall it's good, and I find that any shade this dark like this, you're gonna have that, you know? So overall, really enjoy this palette, really enjoy the different textures. Kudos to you, Beaute Bean and Shroud Cosmetics. Then I have another collaboration palette, which is the Angelica Nyquist and Caladios Club Nebula palette. This palette was kind of my redemption when it comes to Caladios, right? Like, so I tried the lavender palette and I was like, oh, they actually know how to formulate some eyeshadows. Okay. And then I tried this and I was like, oh,
So that wasn't a fluke. They really know how to formulate eyeshadows.
So this really solidified my love affair when it comes to the brand. You get a really nice arrangement of shades, both lights-ish and darks. The darks are really nice and sultry and deep. I love the variety in the matte formulations. I love that she really focused on giving you a lot more mattes than metallics. For me, I really love to build my crease with about 3 to 4 different crease colors, depending on how your girl is feeling at that moment. And I really enjoy the fact that she provided us with those shades. And this truly is Angelica, and so is this palette. This palette is so beautiful. So overall, highly recommend. Beautiful formulations, nice different textures, A+. Oh, and this palette also has multi-chromes. The other ones, this one also has multi-chromes as well, but this palette has multi-chromes, so that gives you a little bit more texture and variety along with just the metallics that I talked about. Then we also have the oh child, what is this brand's name?
What is their name? Tammy Tenuka
Earth Dragon palette. I reviewed this and did swatches for people of darker complexion. I really wish that it was springtime when I did this so you can really see, and I actually had light so you could see, but overall I thought that the formulation was nice. My problem with this palette was that the depth really wasn't there. This dark brown really is like basically my skin tone, so I'm not really getting any depth in the looks that I could create crease wise, but the metallics were nice. These two were more so shimmers. This was my favorite formulation out of this whole palette, and yeah, this shade was also kind of a duochrome too, so yeah, that's how that cookie crumbled. Then I got the Juvia's Place pinks. I purely got this so that I can mix and match with their chocolates. And now that I finally am talking about this palette, I will be mixing it with my Juvia's Place. I cannot wait to make my own Frankenstein palette with these and that palette. Overall, the formulation is nice. The mattes are beautiful. The metallics are beautiful. Kudos to Juvia's as always. Then we have my two Midas Cosmetics palettes, and I reviewed both of these palettes. So let's start off with the Unveiled palette. When reviewing this palette, I discussed that the mattes are really nice, blendable, beautifully pigmented, stuff like that, but the others are just shimmers. They're not metallics, they're not foiled, so they're nice, but they're not groundbreaking. And because although I do like the color scheme, it's not super intriguing. It wasn't my favorite palette. It's a decent quality, but I'm not about to rave about this palette like I feel everybody else has. And I'm gonna stay with that statement. Then we have their Artistry 2 palette, where you get a little bit more variety. You get a little bit more interest, a little bit more color, you know? You get some greens, you get a brown, and you still get that satiny shade. You really are not going to get any metallics from this brand, which isn't a bad thing, but it's just something to know going in. But the fact that the mattes are a different color and it's interesting, I found that I actually enjoyed this palette a lot more. You actually get a little some. It's not basic Booty Guru. You get basic Booty Guru times 2. You know what I'm saying? Or exponentially 2.
Is that how do you say that? To the second power. Beauty Guru to the second power. That.
Okay, and I feel like I'm missing a palette. I probably am, because I feel like there was a palette. No. We're good. And then the last palette I want to talk about is Nomad Cosmetics. Their Land Edis. This was their Iceland palette. I don't know why I'm trying to say it in Iceland. It's their Fire and Ice Iceland palette. I really enjoyed this palette. I've enjoyed Nomad Cosmetics formula in general. Their matte formulation is still really good. You get a couple of the metallics that actually have glitter in it, which really adds a little something to it. And then you just get some metallics. You also get some shimmers, and you also get some duochrome sneaked in there as well. I really like the different texture, the different variety that this palette provides. And it's good. It's good. So now I'm gonna contemplate this order for you real quick, and then I'll be right back, and we gonna talk about who's first and who's last. Ready? So the order has been established, and we're gonna start off with number 9, and I'm gonna give to number 9 the Tammy Tenuta Earth Dragon palette. I'm basically giving this palette this slot because, like I said, the variety is just not there in the mattes. And really for me, if there's no variety when it comes to the mattes and I can't really get any depth, I'm not really going to reach for that palette all as much as I would had there been some depth. So that's where that one's going to go. Then we got the Unveiled palette by Midas Cosmetics. This one ranked up a little bit higher than that one because you got a black, so I got some depth, but it's just a little boring. And I really, these shimmers, I mean, they shimmers, so yeah. Then we got Juvia's Place Sweet Pinks, and I just like this a little bit more because you're getting color, okay, and it's color. It's unapologetically color. Now pink is not a favorite for me. I really hate the color pink. It's just not for me, but a splash of pink not once in a while, it ain't gonna hurt nobody. And I also just really like the metallics in the shimmer formulation, so that's why that one is ranked number 7. Number 6, we have Midas Cosmetics Artistry 2, aka Buddha Guru to the second power. Okay, I like this one because you're getting even more color. Green is a lot more up my alley, and I really like the undertones of these greens. It's very interesting undertones. Once again, the metallics really aren't metallics, they're more so shimmers, but those green funky undertones, okay, there's nothing else to say, nothing. Then we have the Nomad Cosmetics Iceland palette, and this one ranked highest in like the bottom tier because you get quite a bit of variety, you get quite a bit of different textures, and I really did enjoy this palette. It wasn't a favorite compared to these other palettes. These other palettes just knocked it out the park. I mean, but this was still a really good palette, and I still really enjoyed it, so that's what it is. Alrighty, so I just went through 9 to 5. Alrighty, now we have our top 4. Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? I would love if you comment right now. Pause the video real quick. Comment down below what you think my top 4 is and what the order is, because clearly you should know what the top 4 is because it's the other 4 palettes that I already talked about, but you don't know what the order is. So I would love if you comment down below what the order is, and in 3, 2, 1. Number 4 is the Erd palette from Odin's Eye. I really love this palette formulation and all. There's nothing really I don't like about this palette, except like if they had just added a bit more green, this would have been beautiful, okay, beautiful. But other than that, I really enjoy it. The only reason that it is number 4 is just purely because it has less shades, and I am always going to go for something that has a little bit more shades than this on an everyday basis. But child, I still do intend to reach for this palette quite a bit. What's number 3? Do you know? It is my Odin's Eye Norns palette. I really do enjoy this palette. I really like the textures, the variety. I really, really do. But the fact that they have some of these more subtle like sheens kind of knocked it under the other 2 palettes. I'm not going to hold you up. I really like the color scheme. These down her, fire, okay? Fire. But they still had a couple other that kind of knocked those down, if you know what I mean. Because these other 2 palettes, there was not a shade that the texture I did not enjoy. So we only got the 2 collab palettes left. Who's number 2? Who's number 1? Number 2, I unfortunately, and I mean honestly, these 2 tomorrow could be interchanged, but these definitely are the top 2 of the palettes that I'm talking about. I'm gonna give it right now to the Caladios and Angelica Nyquist. I love this palette. I love the looks that I was able to create. They were fantastic, and I think this formulation is beautiful. I mean beautiful. but I just like the other one just a wee bit more. I don't know what it is. It's just a wee bit more. Even with the multi-chromes and the duochrome in this palette, it's just the perfect size. It's just a bite size. You get the beautiful shades. So that's what it is. These are the last 9 eyeshadow palettes that I have brought into my collection in 2021. And the ranking, I would love to hear what you would rank, how you guys ranked compared to what I did. And also, did you get it right? I would love to know. But that's all I got for you guys today. I am done having some fun because this was just a fun video. Could you tell? I was just having fun. Okay, please let me know how you like the lighting. I know the background is not the best, but like, bear with me right now. I'm just trying to figure out a good way that is free for me to fix my lighting. And once I get my lighting together, you know, I could finesse find some money. Maybe I could get like a backdrop so you guys don't have to deal. Y'all don't have to deal with my room. So let me know down below how you are liking this. I would love to hear how you like the audio, like I said, the lighting. Is there anything else? If you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed my personality, all that jazz, I would love it if you would like and subscribe to my channel. And as always, y'all, Black lives do matter. Please check out down below. I have information on Black Lives Matter and some other things that I deem important. Please remember to wear your mask until it is said that you can stop wearing it. Please get vaccinated if you are allowed to, although I think in the US everybody is allowed to at this point. And if you are willing, please just read up on it. You know, it's always good to be knowledgeable. And, you know, just be respectful. Do one thing that is nice for somebody else this week. That's all I ask. Alrighty, I'll see you guys in my next video, which will probably be Friday. Alrighty, bye guys. Wait, no, this is going up on Friday. It'll be on Sunday. Bye guys.